The complex was built on Egypt's Old Kingdom, 2686 to 2181 BC. The three primary pyramids on the Giza Plateau were built over the span of 3 generations by the rulers Khufu, Khafra, and Menkaure. The Pyramid of Khufu, also known as the Great Pyramid of Giza or the Pyramid of Cheops, is the oldest and largest of the three. It is the oldest of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. It was constructed between 2580 to 2560 BC, 4th dynasty, and it took around 10 to 20 years to construct. The Pyramid of Khafra or Hebron was constructed in 2570 BC, 4th dynasty. Khafra's pyramid complex consists of a valley temple, the Sphinx temple, a causeway, a mortuary temple and the King's Pyramid. The Pyramid of Menkaure is the smallest of the 3 main pyramids of Giza. It was constructed in 2510 BC, 4th dynasty. The Great Sphinx, commonly referred as the Sphinx of Giza or just the Sphinx, is a limestone statue of the reclining Sphinx, a mythical creature with the body of a lion and the head of a human. It is constructed around 2603 to 2578 BC by Pharaoh Khafra during his reign between 2520 to 2494 BC as a part of his pyramid complex. The Ramesseum is the memorial temple of Pharaoh Ramses II, also known as Ramses the Great. It was constructed between 1304 to 1207 BC. Moreover, surviving records indicate that work on the project began shortly after the start of his reign and continued for 20 years. The temple famous for its 57-foot seated statue of Ramses II, and it was dedicated to the god Amun-Ra and the deceased king. Karnak Temple, also called Ipet-Isut, which means the most selected places. It was the largest religious building ever constructed. It is about 230 feet by 88 feet. The temple was constructed by Ramses III, a king who reigned from 1186 to 1155 BC. It dates back to 2055 BC to around 100 AD. It was built to honor the god of Amun-Ra, his wife, goddess of Mut, and their son Khonsu. Built by Pharaoh Ramses II in 1244 BC, Abu Simbel contains 2 temples, carved into a mountainside. The larger of the 2 temples contains 4 colossal statues of a seated Pharaoh Ramses II who ruled from 1303 to 1213 BC at its entrance, each about 69 feet tall. The second, a smaller temple, may have been built for Queen Nefertari. Its front includes 2 statues of the queen and 4 of the pharaoh, each about 33 feet in height. Each is set between buttresses carved with hieroglyphs. The Treasury or Al-Qatsneh is one of the most elaborate temples in Petra. This structure was carved out of a sandstone rock face. It was originally built as a mausoleum and crypt at the beginning of the 1st century AD during the reign of Aretas IV Philopatrus, the king of the Nabateans from roughly 9 BC to 40 AD. It was likely built in honor of the chief Nabatean god, Dushara. The Valley of the Kings was a great burial ground for the pharaohs of the New Kingdom. After around 1500 BC, the pharaohs no longer built great pyramids in which to be buried. Instead, most of them were buried in tombs in the Valley of the Kings. The reason is that New Kingdom pharaohs wanted to be closer to the source of their dynastic roots in the south, built their crypts in the hills of this barren tract west of Luxor, now called the Valley of the Kings. The first pharaoh to be buried in the Valley of the Kings was Thutmose I. Over the next 500 years many more pharaohs were buried here, including many of the Ramesses I, II, III, IV, V, VI, VII, IX, X, Hatshepsut, Amenhotep I, and Tutankhamun.